It's Wednesday. Word for you today. Jesus wants to spend time with you. Luke chapter 10, verse 40 says, "But Martha was distracted by all the preparations that had to be made. She came to him," that's Jesus, "and asked, 'Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do the work by myself? Tell her to help me.'" Jesus has come. He's visiting Lazarus and Mary and Martha, and Martha's busy fixing the meal, and Mary's sitting listening to Jesus speak. And Martha's doing all the work, and can't you imagine she's just rattling things together and she's just angry because Mary's sitting in there listening to the teacher and she's busy working. Well, our devotional has a phrase that's really, really good. I like this. It says, "Don't get so involved in the work of the Lord that you fail to get involved with the Lord of the work." Did you get that? Don't get so involved in the work of the Lord that you fail to get involved with the Lord of the work. Sometimes we get so busy in church, we forget why we're doing it. It's kind of like one time, this lady she had a pan that her mom had used, and she was cooking a ham. And so she took the ham and she cut off one end of the ham and she put the ham in the pan and put it in the oven. And somebody asked her, "Why did you cut the end off that ham?" She said, "Well, my mom always did that." So why'd she do it? Well, I don't know. So she went and asked her mom. She said, "Mom, why did you always cut the end of the ham off?" She said, "Because it wouldn't fit in the pan otherwise." So she thought, she didn't know why she was cutting the end off the ham. She'd just seen it done, so she always did it that way. Well, sometimes we do things without even knowing why we're doing it. Martha is not doing anything wrong by serving, by preparing the meal, but Mary's doing what is best. So how are we distracted? In what ways are we distracted from doing what's best? Well, sometimes ourself. There's nothing wrong with enjoying life, but is our comfort and the things of this life more important than spending time with God? Sometimes my selfishness gets in the way. Another thing that sometimes gets in the way is money. Money is not the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. So let me ask you, is there anything that you would not give up for money? You want money so bad you would do anything to get it. That is the love for money. There's nothing wrong with money. Money's just a tool. It's something we use. But when we have a love that puts it before other things, that's where we get in trouble. Another thing that causes problems is today our media, our TV, our cell phones, video games, movies. They're forms of entertainment, and by themselves, they're not necessarily bad. We can use them to enrich our lives. But if we allow them to take the place of God in our lives, then we're giving them a place that they don't deserve. And God wants to spend time with us, and we let a ball game, a TV show, our cell phones, we let some video games, we let those things take the place of spending time with God. Doesn't mean we can't enjoy those things. It's fine, we can. But not to the exclusion of spending time with God. And then one more, our relationships. Sometimes we allow our love for people in our families or our friends to keep us away from God. Sometimes our friends don't want anything to do with God, or we're ashamed to spend time with God. And so we don't do that because we're afraid what our friends will say. Sometimes it's a relationship with somebody that doesn't want anything to do with God, and we go with them rather than them coming with us. These four things, self, money, media, relationships, those aren't necessarily bad things. But they can get in the way of us spending time with God. So let me ask you, what changes do you need to make in your life today to spend time with God? Have you taken time today or yesterday, or are you going to take time today just to talk to God and to listen to Him? You know, there's a Soviet leader, Khrushchev, used to tell a time when there was a lot of petty theft in the Soviet Union. And in some of the factories, things were disappearing all the time. So he had his guards guarding this one particular factory. And he had this one man come out with a wheelbarrow with a sack in it that was kind of an odd-shaped sack. And he's thinking, okay, what is this guy taking? So one of the guards go over, hey, what have you got in there? And the guy says, oh, it's just some sawdust and shavings. And he goes, no, you're trying to steal something. I know you are. Dump it out. So he dumps the wheelbarrow over, and they get the sack, and inside the sack are some sawdust and shavings. Nothing else. That's it. So the guard just looks at him very suspicious. Okay, take it and go. So the guy puts back in the bag, puts the bag in the wheelbarrow, goes away. Next day, same thing happens. Pulls him over, again, sawdust and shavings. Next day, finally one day the guard says, okay, I know something's up. You're stealing something. What is it? He said, wheelbarrows. Wheelbarrows. Sometimes the guard was looking so intently at what was in the wheelbarrow that he was missing what the guy was stealing was wheelbarrows. Well, sometimes we spend so much time on things that we miss time with God. We are robbing God of time with Him and with us for shavings and sawdust. So today, could you make an appointment with God? Can you say, okay, certain point of the day, I'm going to spend it. Maybe today you just take 5 minutes that you spend with God. And if you do that day after day, sooner or later, you're going to want more time with God because it's enjoyable. God wants to spend time with you. Don't miss out on that. Have a good day.